Hey, what is up, citizens? This is President Vochelli back with another episode of Pokémon Snakewood. So, in case you missed the last episode, it was an evolution solution. I now have great power on my team with our new Hariyama, Parasect, which apparently has no ability, and hey, how did I get a Zoroark on my team? Well, Might Yenna actually evolved into it. It was crazy. Like, what the hell? It's not a Zoroark either. It's a Gigawolf. You get that, citizens? It's a Gigawolf. So, anyways, now that we have these new party members, let's go ahead and defeat the Inquisition Squad. Hey, no one is to go beyond this point. And apparently every single one of them are, you know, gang leaders. And, oh boy, another, Hombone, that's right. And we don't even need to think about this, just send out Luncheon. Okay, that's a problem. I didn't want to do that. That's a big problem. Okay, does grass resist rock? I think from a recent Shady Penguin battle, it doesn't. Alright, so we have a Lunatone. That is... yeah, Scrappy Doo is my best switch in. Simple as that. Oh god, it's level 25 too. Okay, but hey, that works. That works. Let's go ahead, bite it up. Scrappy-Doo! Scrappy-Doo, I choose you! All day long, all day, every day. My goodness, oopsie doodles. Okay, yes, we'll go ahead and switch out into Luncheon. So, while we're battling this dude, let us go ahead and discuss, I suppose, the topic of the day, and that is... I think everyone has missed some generation of Pokemon, or some Pokemon games. And if you have not, well, kudos to you. Like, seriously, that's impressive, but... You know, for... I assume a big part of my target audience, you were likely born in the 90s. So, you were probably there when the first Pokemon games came out. And they were the absolute shiznit, weren't they? Grr, I need to tell the boss about this. Yeah, so we were there at the beginning, enjoying all the wonderful, flawed mechanics of the first generation. Hey, I love it too, but it's flawed. Like, you have to admit that. And there we go, I just lost all the Gen 1ers. Bye! Anyways, then Generation 2 came out, and oh my goodness! It improved upon it improved upon the game in every single way. And Oddish. I'd actually really love to use a Vileplume in one of my LPs. But now's not the time. Because I already got, you know, Joel the Parasect. So, yeah. We went ahead and played through Gen 2. But then, something unfortunate happened. Middle school. Pokemon suddenly became a little uncool. So, at least for people born in the early 90s, we might have skipped out on Generation 3. And by extension, Generation 4. Because, you know, that's during the middle school, high school era. Oh, what the hell's out? Munchlax, okay. You know, all our friends stopped playing it because, you know, unfortunately, adolescence and ideals about adult behavior. You know, they're like, oh, you have to stop watching cartoons. You have to stop playing these kiddie games. What you have to like is sex and violence. At least for the males. At least for the males. That is the only, you know, your content, the content that you consume has to have that in it. Or else you're uncool. You know, because that's considered the adult thing. And oh boy, let me tell you, I hate those freaking perceptions of adulthood. God. You know, they got in the way of people actually expressing themselves. That, no, I have to subvert my interests and my personality, all in the interest of fitting in. All to fit the societal definition of maturing. You know, but yeah, I'm definitely going on a tangent here, but I definitely think maturing, it entails being able to accept a wider range of experiences. Like, you know how kids are. They will reject. They reject the new. You know, new foods? No. New types of experiences? No. They want to stick with the familiar. For the most part. You know, but as we grow older, we're able to expand our minds. Expand our minds, think in different ways, and experience new things. Because, you know, one of these new things, we might just like it. It might expand our personality, our experiences. You know, that is what I think maturing is, not rejecting certain kinds of experiences. In fact, I think that's incredibly childish. Mach Punch. Oh, Scrappy Doo can learn it. Hell yeah! Get fucking Mach Punch. That's awesome. So, anyways, how I think that fits in, you know, to Pokemon is, as we grow older, you know, when we're starting to get out of high school and back to college, you know, if you're watching this channel, I'm sure you play Pokemon. And if you're as old as me, you probably started playing it back, you know, around Gen 4, Gen 5. You picked it back up. You know, that's because, you know, I think we were able to overcome those societal barriers that are telling you you can only like certain things. You know, instead they're rejected around late high school and college. And, you know... Okay. And instead our true interests develop, and that's, you know, our interests were tied to Pokemon. It was a critical part of childhood, and just the formula is just universally appealing. So anyways, we go back to it, and luckily it also seems to be the case for a lot of other people, you know, especially around college. They're like, yeah, fucking Pokemon, that was the shit, man. Yeah, we're playing it again. You know, and that's awesome. Okay, Inquisition is handling the chefs. That's interesting. Yeah, but anyways, I think that's just the usual route for people of my age. You know, how they started with Pokemon at the very beginning, and how they got back into it. Yeah, unfortunately, I need luncheon to come in here. Don't explode. Please don't explode. Thank you. Okay. You know, but now there's definitely a newer generation emerging. Like, it's crazy to think that by, you know, those born at the turn of the millennium in 2000, they're already teenagers. Like, yeah, if any of you, you know, were actually born and 2000 or after. Like, that's perfectly fine. It's just crazy for me to think that. You know, but obviously, like, those kind of people, they grew up with many different games. You know, and I also think around that time, well 2000 was when Pokemon Gold and Silver was released. But hey, if they were born then they were growing up at the time when I think Pokemon was just starting to lose some popularity. You know, like, yeah, we all knew what it was when it was first released. Got all excited when everything was made better in Generation 2, but, you know, again, then the initial fan base fell off because I went into middle and high school. And there were more things to compete with it at the time, like, you know, like Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and, you know, whatever. Its corpse's head has been completely reversed and filled with sand from the ears. There appears to be no reason for this. Lovely! Lovely. You know, so... I honestly don't know how people born in the very late 90s or early 2000s, like, if they're fans of Pokemon... I mean, I'm sure it was, like, it's still a popular thing. Just, like, not as much. You know, so I'm kind of interested, like, how, you know, people like that, how they see it. Oh, cool, yeah, I got my soda pops. I don't know if I might need a Neverstone later. Oh, yeah, definitely sell that. Yeah, we'll sell that. You know, but yeah, I'd really like to hear from anyone, like, who came into Pokemon later, you know, how they got into it. Like, I'm very, very curious about that. You know, see how other Pokemon fans got into the series, besides, you know, just being exposed to the anime, the cards, and the games all coming out at once, and capturing our young, wild imagination. Oh, anyways. Oh, it's Gleice! Well, I thought you might make it this far, Loba. Oh, Gleice, what are you doing here? I'm watching a battle. Care to join me? But is he one of the members of the Inquisition? Like, he has the same hair. It's those weird guys from before. Oh, so you've met them before. They're the Inquisition, part of the Hoenn government. Hoenn government, eh? Since the zombies came and the government was eaten, they are more or less in complete control of the region. It seems like there's no one in control here. Even these guys are fighting for dominance. Oh, they're in control, alright. Take another look. Don't be shy. I've made us invisible. What's keeping you? Boss! Hombones, return! Return to the void, monsters. Oh, wow! This area is clear. It's time to clear out another. Let's go! Yes, boss! You, minions, return to base! Oh, actually, use zombies as well. Who was that? What did she do with those zombies? Maybe she's like Michonne from The Walking Dead. She just keeps them on leashes. You know, cut their jaw off. That was Chloe. She's a Taoist. Just like me, and so she has power over the undead monsters that have recently sprung up. Those two zombies that were following her were her personal slaves. So why did you make us invisible? Aren't you Taoists a close-knit secret group or something? Ah, we are indeed supposed to be, but Chloe has seized control of the Inquisition, and they're currently hunting me. They believe me to be responsible for the zombie outbreak, you see. Oh, but that isn't true. How do you know? How do you know, Loba? How do you know? You sealed the rift to hell. You're helping to end the zombie plague. Try telling the Inquisition that. They don't believe it, but enough of that. I have a task for you. Go south from here and surf to New Mauville. Dandelion is there to instruct you further. Okay, Gleice, but there's something I meant to ask you. Have you seen the Pokemon champion around at all? I believe you'll find further information in New Mauville. Take it from me. It is imperative that you go there. But I want to go to the Pokemon Center first. Good luck, and farewell. Yes, I changed his accent to just a little hint of... No, I want to go to the Pokemon Center! No! Oh! Dang. Right, but let's see. Anyways, going back to my topic. Yeah, those born late 90s, 2000 or after, you know, must have came into Pokemon through Ruby and Sapphire, or, you know, if later, Gen 4, or, man, maybe even Gen 5. Island of Calm. Oh. What the hell is this music? Hey, clear off, kid. This is Inquisition territory. What? Fine, fine. You know, so, anyways, yeah, those kind of people, they were not here. You know, they weren't around. They didn't experience Pokemon when it first came out. So, like, I wonder how that changes their perceptions of it. You know, or like, the original game's absolutely unbearable to play, which I completely understand if they are. Hey, Loba. The master said you would be coming. There we go. I think I found Dantelion's voice. What exactly is it that Glyce wants me to do? As you can see, the Inquisition is not exactly a positive influence on this region. The population of Mauville has have all taken refuge here from them, the zombies and the chefs. So, they should be safe here, but they are not. This door is locked at all times and guarded. No one enters and no one exits, and yet someone has been murdered here. What? Murdered? Yes, it's true. The master was passing by, and he would look into it, but he is rather busy trying to undermine the Inquisition at the moment, which is why you're here. You'll help find the culprit, of course. Of course, let's go. If it's murder, then there's no time to lose. Very well. This way. I think it's a trap. I think it's a trap. Oh, never mind. This girl here is one of Glyce's sent officer. This girl here is one Glyce sent officer. She's a strong and intelligent trainer, so I'm sure she'll be of some help. I'm a member of the Hoenn Internal Affairs Army, acting as a policeman for the time being. The corpse is in the storage room. Oh. Kid, go check it out and search this place for clues. When you think you know who did it, come tell me. Find evidence it was them, motive, and prove they had the means to do it. Yes, that is actually... Well, that's how I learned at least the criminal process in the Phoenix Wright series. They had to have... You have to have hard evidence that someone did it, a motive, and you have to make sure they had the opportunity to do it. So no alibi, in other words. Go for it. It's important you solve this mystery for the good of the people of Hoenn. So says Glyce, anyway. I'm off to guard the entrance. Nope. No, you're not. Oh, thank God there are still some survivors. I don't talk. Well, thank you for talking with me about that. Watson has had to give up on his plan to electrify the city, but now we live here, where all the electricity is born, so he's happy. Maybe Watson was behind all this. Behind the zombie outbreak, that is. You see? I like Nurse Joy's heel Mario, and I'm so high. Yay! Hi, I don't have a healing machine, but let's see what my heel Mario can do. There you go, all happy and healthy. Cool. I was part of a two-man band, but my partner is left to be rich and famous, and I'm just left with my guitar case and a broken spirit. Be rich and famous where? It's a zombie apocalypse! I mean, unless they're pure rockers, which... I could believe that, I can believe it. Go away, kid, I'm working. Just kind of stand there, doing an evil laugh by himself. I kind of suspect him. I'm playing against a moron. Checkmate! No, that's a pawn! My king is this one. Oh. Knight takes bishop. Knights can't move like that. Yes, they can. In fact, that's the only way they can move. Oh, checkmate! Do you even know how to play chess? No. Go away, kid, I'm working. Brr, I always think New Marville's a bit cold for me. Take all these scientists. They're so weird. So, anyways, I think it is time to end this episode. So thank you very much, citizens, for watching. Remember to leave a comment down below about which generations or games or whatever of Pokemon that you skip. And, you know, also how you got into the Pokemon series to begin with, because I'm very interested of, like, the usual trajectories of how people get in the Pokemon. You know, why they got such a strong interest in it in the first place, whether it wanes at any point, how their thinking differs depending on when they started, etc., etc. So, with all of that said, thank you very much for watching again, and next episode, we will solve a murder. Anyways, this is President Vochelli, signing off. Thanks for watching, citizens. To stay up to date on my content, be sure you're subscribed to me and following me on Twitter and or Facebook, links to which are in the description below. If you liked that video, be sure you click on that like button because #logic. And if you are feeling charitable, consider donating to Extra Life, which is a group that gives all donations to the Children's Miracle Network, which is a charity that helps fund equipment and treatments for kids. You can find a link to that in the description below. And with all of that said, thanks again for watching, and this has been President Vochelli, signing off.